If you are struggling with dairy, I think this video is going to help you. Welcome to the Quit Eating Animals Show, episode 24. We are live for the third day in a row. Today, we're going to be exploring a little bit about dairy. I'm going to share with you a 2-minute clip from Mercy with Animals, exploring or showing you a drone footage from what we normally don't see from a dairy industry or some of the pictures that they show us. But dairy is, if not the worst industry and the practices they have. So if we think that we're not consuming animals, but we are consuming dairy, we are just as responsible for what's happening, if not worse. And I'm going to show you what that looks like, or what are some of the practices that we are actually paying for. All right. But I think for us, I think dairy is I think it's the most difficult, as it is. It's addictive. It has addictive property within it. But also it's one of the easiest, because if you think about it logically, we just aren't meant to or designed to consume another species' milk. And I think I talked about this in the past, but if you think about it naturally and logically, all mothers produce milk for their babies. Humans' mothers produce milk for their human babies. Cows produce cow's milk for their babies. So essentially, if we're drinking cow's milk, we are drinking milk naturally designed for a different species. Okay, and so I don't think anything that we aren't designed or naturally supposed to consume, this cannot be a healthy option. I think if you go into the health details and the health information about consuming dairy, you're going to find that there is a lot of issues and things problem caused by consuming dairy. All right, one of those being lactose intolerance. And let's pull this up, lactose intolerance. Some adults produce enough lactase enzyme to digest the amount of dairy in a typical adult diet, but lactase production can fall off sharply by the time you reach adulthood, called primary lactose intolerance, making milk products difficult to digest. So we no longer need the enzyme to digest the milk. We no longer need that after weaning. So we are the only species to drink another species' milk, and the only species to drink milk after we're done weaning. We drink milk all the way through our entire lives. So this is something that we need to untrick ourselves and unteach ourselves, because we were all taught milk does a body good, and it certainly doesn't, and especially looking at it from the animal's perspective. Another one I want to share with you too is this right here. Approximately 6 years of age are when these dairy cows are basically done producing their milk, their lifespan of their milk production phase. And so then they're sent to the slaughterhouse. So 6 years old, they're done producing day in and day out, the milk that they're sold to humans. And then they're no longer profitable. And so they send them to the slaughterhouse. Another thing I was reading, that most of the dairy industries, or the expendable dairy cows in the dairy industry, their bodies are so worn and so rugged that they don't sell them for expensive meat. They usually sell them to companies that process them, use dog meat or cat meat and some of the low grade meat options, because their bodies and their meat are so abused and overused. And this is what we're doing to these animals. We're exploiting them to the extent of using all of their bodies, just basically not caring one bit for how they feel, just as long as they produce money for the business. Just not something, again, many people think about, and I think it's important to bring up. So let's pull this video up, and when I share this with you, it's 2 minutes. We're going to watch it, and I want you to think about the animals, the individual animals' perspective. One of the best videos that I found on dairy by far.
This is how milk production really works.
The milk industry has spent decades hiding this from the public. It's time to expose the truth.
At a modern dairy farm. They often contain hundreds or even thousands of cows who have no choice but to stand in dirt, mud, and piles of their own waste day after day. But this is just the beginning, because like all mammals, cows need to give birth in order to start producing milk. But the dairy farm can't collect the milk if their babies drink it first. So, the babies are taken away soon after being born. The mothers often cry and call out for their babies for hours or even days after they have been taken away, and the babies find themselves in these. These crates are known as calf hutches. They are so small that the animals can barely turn around or even take a few steps. The calves are so young that at first they cannot even eat solid food, and they remain trapped in these crates, day in and day out, for months on end. Meanwhile, their mothers are repeatedly moved from the dirt lots in which they live into the so-called milking parlor. They are crowded together to await being milked by a machine. And after several cycles of forced impregnation, birth, and machine milking, when the cow's milk production eventually falls below the amount that the dairy farm considers optimal, they are killed at a fraction of their natural lifespan. And that is when the babies are finally removed from their crates to replace those who were killed, continuing this endless cycle. It is time to share the truth and finally expose the milk industry to the world.
Look at that, though. Did you see? Let's just take a look at that. All of those individual animals are in there. And so, what's your biggest takeaway? Drop it in the comments below. What you've learned about dairy. Did you know these things? This is something that essentially did not know existed. The amount of animals in here is absurd. You know what else I forgot to bring up here? Check this out. Check this out. Look at this. Go to this website, animalclock.org. This will show you in real life, in real time, and notice how it's counting up how many animals have been killed for food this year. So over 14 billion animals. And then it breaks it down by different type of animals. So look how many chickens have been killed. Over 8 billion, 214 million turkeys. Cattle, 36 million, 124 million pigs. Ducks, 23 million. Sheep, 7 million. Look at fish, trillions. So those numbers are absolutely staggering. And as we sit here, the numbers keep going up and up and up and up. So I think it's time that we take a look at it. And if we directly want to partake in reducing the amount of suffering, reducing the amount of pain, eliminating it entirely, you can do that yourself. You don't need anyone else's permission. You don't need to wait for anyone. You don't need to wait for it to be a law. You don't need for your family to do it or other people, your best friend to do it. You can make that change. You can start this today. You can get up from here and choose to a different option. You can choose to have a plant-based option or a plant-based meat, or start looking at the ingredients. Notice that milk is in almost everything, and start identifying what products that milk is in, and you can eliminate that. Okay, say I'm no longer going to get that option, and choose a different option. It'll be fun. You try different products. You try different things. Like, wow, that was good, or wow, that's not good. Then try something different. And by the way, all these other companies are coming out with new products all the time. There's startup products. We are living through the best time to choose to go plant-based as it's ever been. I mean, try going vegan, try going plant-based, eliminating or quit eating animals like 14, 25 years ago, 70 years ago. You know how difficult that would be? That would not, like YouTube and finding information about there wasn't an option back then. We are just now getting into this where you can pull information out. All the information is out there. I can share it with you. And again, I'm just providing the facts and the videos from what other people are showing. These are real life clips. These are real life stories. And by the way, these are real life people in these comments explaining that plants feel pain, or that we were supposed to eat milk, or do these things. And we have to start listening to ourselves. We have to start questioning and be like, is this really the best option? And I don't think, when you look at it further and you look at it deep, this is definitely not the best option. It's just not. And then look at this, even taking it from an environmental standpoint, look at cow's milk, significantly higher impacts than any plant-based alternative across all the metrics. 3 times as much greenhouse gas emissions, 10 times as much land, 2 to 20 times as much fresh water, and creates much higher levels of eutrophication. I don't know. And I don't even have to get into the environmental aspects. I think that that's 2 phases away. Let's look at it from the animal's perspective first and foremost. And then, or you could flip it. Let's just say if it's healthy for us and if we need to consume it. But we've proven, and we're continuing to prove, that we don't need to consume dairy or any animal products to be strong and healthy. There are so many cases out there. You can read, you can do the research, you can look it up, but real life examples, real life people, if you think that they're in a closet eating animals and coming out and saying that they don't, you're mistaken. No one's going to do that. Okay. So you're able to do that. So now if you can say that you can be super healthy, super fit, super strong by choosing nothing but plants, variety of plants, why would we not do that? Why would we continue to try to cause harm and contribute to the pain and suffering and death of animals and what you've just watched? Our money, if you purchase dairy, the money is going towards that, towards those farms, towards those businesses, to continue to have that happen. If we continue to support that, this will be a never-ending cycle in perpetuity. It will be over and over and over again. But what's going to happen is some of you watching this video will choose a different option, and we will slowly, some of you will immediately go, but others will continue to reduce, continue to look for different options, and then say, oh yeah, wow, that is actually better. Wow. And then once it starts to become cheaper, game is over. The game is over. So this will flip. This will happen. Might as well start early. Might as well take care of your body. Start giving your body what it's designed to eat, the good things for it, the plants, fruits, vegetables, things that are grown from the earth, not animals. Stay away from all animals, all their animal products. They are not good for us. They are not, even though if they're traditions, you can choose a different option, substitute a different option. There are so many out there. There's so many videos. You can do this. I know it. All right, so this is episode 24. Hey, don't forget to hit subscribe. Look at this, 253 subscribers so far. Again, thank you so much. Appreciate it. We're on our road to 1,000 and 100,000. We'll just keep putting out content. Hopefully you find this valuable. If you do want to chat, if you do want to get on a interview, you can email support@quiteatinganimals.com. You can jump on Instagram. You can DM. Find a way to get in contact with me, and we will set up. I've seen some people doing some interviews, doing some talking back and forth. I think that we're at that level. I'm able to answer any questions that you have, and we'll chat if you want to debate, if you want to talk about it. I'll be more than happy. You're not going to offend me. You're not going to go, this is real life stuff, and I think we can bring a lot of value. So if you are interested, go ahead and hit the comments up. We'll get in connection and we'll set this up. I got to get some software, or we could do over the phone if you're US based. All right, we could just do the phone, but I like the video to see. I think that gives it definitely some more realistic vibes there. And, we're on video. Everyone's used to video. So, and I think we have the capabilities of that. So if you are interested, again, drop the comments. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you in the next video.
Quit eating animals.
Peace.